Good evening, everybody. This is Nikki here, and we are doing 30 days of receiving. And this morning I knew that, come on, Bella. This morning I knew that I was going to post about receiving from frustration. Why? Because that's what last night was like, totally. And it was ironic that I wanted to post in the morning, and I never got to because guess what kind of a day it was. So let me back up to yesterday because an example is always very helpful. So last night I was enjoying myself and just the dog. Last night I was enjoying myself, a little bit of time alone. Everybody's going to bed really early right now because it's getting dark early. And I opened the cabinet and there were bugs. There were weevils that we thought we had gotten rid of a couple months ago. So we got them from a bag of rice we bought. And what I didn't realize is I hadn't cleaned out all the partial pasta, partially eaten bags of pasta and things like that. And while we had cleaned it a while ago, I guess they came back. So in a moment of knowing how long it was going to take to clean the whole thing out, my whole body went into that mode of the emoji with the eyes rolling and that bracing sense of frustration. And when your body braces as frustration, it's truly a resistance to something. And I know that it's like there's an energy coming and you're meeting it to brace against it. Now that could be barriers, boundaries, just if you have a resistant personality, there's a lot of that going around. Resistant personalities, personalities that look at everything as a problem, There's this energy in our body. And I sat there for a second like that and I said, well, this is not going to really help me, of course. So I said, what if I received from the frustration? And really, it's not receiving from frustration so much as you're feeling frustration, you're feeling frustrated, and instead of feeling all that tension in the body, all that barrier resistance, all the things it doesn't want anything to penetrate, it wants it to go away, wishes that if it could get tight enough that the problems would go away, right? Or whatever's grabbed your attention that's frustrating would go away. Instead, I said, okay, what does it have to give me, right? There was a flow. I said, what if I received from the thing I found frustrating? And it was very interesting because this is not that unobvious, but what changed is it became very clear that something needed to be dealt with. I needed to solve the problem. It was only going to get worse, right? And that my pantry, my house, this problem was asking me to pay attention to it, asking me to be with it. And as soon as you release the frustration, the verbal things that you'll say about being upset about something, you might say it and then the energy just disappears. That's different than saying it and then it piles on and you're building a resistance. Or just in this case, if you're by yourself, you bring that energy. It's like a force you bring with you to oppose what the problem is that just showed up. If you let something inform you instead, it's informing you. It's informing you and informing you and informing you. If you let it inform you, the more that informs you, the more you fill up. It nurtures you. It's informing. You're relaxing, you're receiving. It can flow through your body and heal you. It can flow out of your body, but that you're actually with this thing. It creates a connection with the attention that something needs to be given in order for you to engage with it. So it's not that different from, like recently I've given away a lot of furniture. So I I would walk into a room and I would feel, what's that energy that doesn't feel so good? What is it that doesn't feel good? Oh, and if you can say that I don't, I hate this house, it's too messy, or I don't like the colors, or whatever it is. But it was way more than that. It was much easier if I had that sense of discomfort, right? Was it really discomfort, or was it something asking me to leave? Literally asking me to leave. So I had, as I probably said yesterday, I don't know, I had this entertainment center. It was a quite expensive entertainment center that I've had for a while, and I keep it in very good condition. And it told me I want to go. And how many things in your house, or piles of papers or whatever, that can bother you and frustrate you, when in fact, if you just reverse that slightly and you're like, what are you saying to me? And your papers might be saying, just pay attention to me. Pay attention to me, deal with me. I didn't come here to sit in a pile. That's funny. I didn't come here to sit in a pile. How many things do we ignore that frustrate us in the back of our mind, right? Because we're ignoring them. I didn't come here to sit in a pile. Now, a piece of paper that came with information on it that you don't want, the paper might say, put me in the recycling, I want to move on, right? But you might hold on to it thinking you're going to read it. And it might frustrate you because you're not. But what if it is more the energy of the things telling you, move me on, move me on, move me on, move me on. So I dealt with the weevils all night long. I cleaned up my pantry like never before. I threw out a lot of stuff, which I'm like, hey, we got to finish everything up or put it in a glass jar, right? And I rearranged things and it looks great. I can actually find stuff now, right? It was about a year ago that I did the same thing. So my pantry asked, well, that's not true. It was a couple months ago when I cleaned everything out, but I did a better job this time. What is talking to you? What is talking to you that such that if you listened to it, you wouldn't feel frustrated? So today I had a lot of things that happened, like my things broke, or my printer refused to print unless I changed. It had a little bit of ink in places, but unless I changed all the cartridges, and it made me do it one by one. Usually, I'll get a message that they should all be replaced at the same time if they really need to be replaced. This was making me do it one by one. Put one in, it took it, and then it got ready to print, and then it said another one needed. And I'm like, oh my God, this printer, I have known, needs attention. It has no paper, needs to be dusted, whatever the things are. I haven't been, maybe I should have turned it off because I wasn't using it. But all the things that all the attention I didn't give it, it was demanding from me now. And so instead of getting frustrated that I needed to print something out really quickly, I'm like, okay, I have patience with you. What is it that you want? Just wanted attention. So when I say that everything is alive, even if you think it's an inanimate object, what if you tried? What if you just reversed that for a little while? What if you tried to receive from it? What is it telling you? Does it want to connect with you? It's like the dog. If I don't pay enough attention to the dog, it's going to tell me, right? It's going to maybe annoy me. So then I feel annoyed. Instead of feeling annoyed, if I just decide to play with it, because this dog wants to play, then I'll be happy, right? And then actually I will receive from the playing. If I don't receive from the playing, then I'll find the playing annoying. But if I receive the connection, and the more that we have connection with everything, giving and receiving, and most everything's giving to us. I know that most everything is giving to us really because we actually need that energy, because we need to connect to everything. And once we start connecting to everything, it'll be easier to connect to each other. And when we connect to each other, then we will make choices that are nicer for everyone. And the world, of course. The earth, the planet, the dogs, the cats, the birds, everything. Okay. Tell me something that you want to learn about receiving. What bothers you? Like we can talk about receiving from anxiety. That's one thing. What is it that you want to know? Because the topics are endless. Okay, have a nice day.